Hello.
I'm Lizstar.
I'm Karma.
And we are very excited to bring you some UFO 50 Bingo Spicy Edition. And definitely not nervous about it. Thank you for...
we're definitely not both anxious wrecks right now because we're like so even and back and forth on this with every single one of our practice matches.
It's okay. I'm totally not a basic white girl. I can do spicy. It's fine. We'll be fine. We have ScouSin and CO on comms. Hello, friends. Thank you for joining us.
I don't know about you two, but I'm not nervous at all because I'm not playing UFO 50 today.
Yeah, we just get to sit back and watch and talk to y'all. But hi, I'm CO. That was ScouSin. Welcome in, everyone.
ScouSin.
You'll be hearing a lot of them because we will be muted and deafened the entire time. We won't know what each other are doing. But we wanted to start by introducing the games that we chose. So without further ado, I'll just jump into that. UFO 50 is a collection of 50 games, and we did a draft where we chose 10 games each. So we have our 10 games. Karma, do you want to start with yours?
Yep. First, I selected Divers. It's a little bit of an esoteric RPG, and probably one of our favorites.
Yes, my second favorite game. I love Divers. I chose Mini and Max, which is a kind of a platformer, almost Metroidvania kind of game, a big explory game.
I picked Porgy, another underwater game. It's a little bit of an exploring Metroidvania type deal.
To finish off the Metroidvanias, I chose Golfaria, which is like top-down Zelda, but you're a golf ball and you play golf. This game's great. You should get UFO 50.
It's great. I selected Campanella 2. There's three there's more than three, but like named games. There's a Campanella trilogy, and this one is a randomly generated combination of UFO levels and on foot. It's a little Blaster Master-like in that regard, but it's pretty cool. Hopefully you'll be seeing... Well, okay. You're going to be seeing it. It's on the card, probably, I assume.
I think some of these games might not be on the card. That's usually how it goes, but these are ones we chose specifically. We'll see.
Yeah.
We got Camouflage, which is a weird like puzzle game. Very unique.
I then selected Party House. I'm not usually a fan of deck builders, but Party House is one of my favorite games. It is basically, well, it's a Rolodex builder in which you have to invite guests to a party, but not get called but not have the cops called on you.
Then I chose Grimstone, the other RPG of the pack. This is a rootin' tootin' cowboy RPG where you play as cowboys in Texas hell. It's great.
I chose Belgris, a randomly generated, it's often called Upwell.
Yeah, based on Downwell. I chose Elphazar's Hat, which is like kind of a walking shmup, like what's it called?
Pocky and Rocky.
Pocky and Rocky, that's it. It's very Pocky and Rocky with like a cute rabbit. It's great.
I chose Vanger, which is another Metroidvania, but what if you had the powers of Flip, like Metal Storm?
It's Metal Storm meets Super Metroid. Very exciting. Shout out to Super Metroid. We'll be seeing that soon. I chose Seaside Drive, which is another shmup where you're like sliding back and forth on a road and shooting at enemies while drifting.
I chose Valbrace, which is a first-person dungeon crawler with punch-out style combat.
I chose Campanella 3, which is like an from back to forward, like on-rails shooter. Very like retro on-rail shooter.
I chose Pilot Quest, which is a combination idle game and Zelda-like, if I had to boil it down.
It makes this bingo very interesting, and it completely changes the vibes of bingo, if I'm being real with you. I chose Mooncat, which is a weird, esoteric platformer that's like... I can't even explain it. You'll have to see it for yourself.
Truly. I chose Caramel Caramel, which is a Gradius type shmup, but you have a camera, and that camera has cool functionality.
I chose Magic Garden, the best game in this pack, which is Snake with extra steps.
And I chose Warp Tank as my final game, both as a concession to Liz, because we both love it, and I kind of didn't want to ban any of her games, and so
Yep.
Warp Tank was my offering so that we wouldn't ban anything. and
then-
it's a puzzle game in which you warp.
And then I chose a special little game called Onion Delivery for the fans, because Onion Delivery is often one of the most hated games in this pack, and it is one that both of us, we've beaten it, we've cherried it, we have played it, and we're pretty good at it, but we never feel confident in it, so it might be kind of exciting.
It is absolutely our content pick.
For the content. Be sure to donate.
Now, before we start, I actually have something really special for y'all. We have a $500 donation from none other than Moss Mouth, who says,
Oh.
"Good luck, bingo racers, and let's hit that 125K, the UFO 50 recovery team."
Thank you.
Goodness,
Thank you, Moss Mouth.
I'm
Thank you.
so happy
That
for
rules.
like all the work that you've done. You did such a great job recovering UFO 50.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
And
you.
if those who don't know in the audience, Moss Mouth made UFO 50, so
No, they recovered
No,
it.
they recovered
They
it.
found it in
recovered
a
it.
warehouse.
So
Yeah,
you're so true. They found it, and then they shared it with all of us.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm good to go. Let's go ahead and deafen and mute. Good luck, Karma.
Good luck, Liz.
Let's have a real slobber knocker and
As I always say.
as we always say, and have a great time. Thanks for playing with me, Karma.
Yeah,
Good luck,
thank
y'all.
you.
See you on the
See you
other
on
side.
the other side.
Okay, our players are both deafened, so now it's just me and Sio the entire way. And let me tell you, we got lore, we got goals, and we got bingo. I think we're ready to get started. Just need to double check. Are the players ready in chat? All right, we got Karma, we got Liz. Sio, do you want to do the honors of starting this
Yeah.
off?
Yep. I'll go ahead and do the reveal, and then players will have 1 minute to look at the card, and then we'll get going.
Okay, so in standard bingo rules for UFO 50, both players get an entire minute in order to review the games, review the goals, and see just where they want to tackle things. Now, the way we play bingo, first off, if you get a bingo diagonally, vertically, or horizontally, you instantly win. If you get 13 goals, that is the majority of the card. If you get 13 goals and your opponent cannot get a bingo, then you win. So it's not enough to get 13, you also have to prevent your opponent from getting bingo. These are the primary two ways to win. There is a tiebreaker rule. I'm hoping that we do not go to tiebreaker today. If we do, we'll talk about it later on.
Yeah, we
See
can
ya.
figure that out.
What did our donors donate for Spicy Goals? What Spicy Goals do we have in front of us today?
All right. So we have a couple of very hards and some spicy goals. So the spicy goals are specifically the Overgrow goal, where you have to get 45 oppies in a run. Camp 2, where you got to get 5 unique door entries and purchase things from the shop. We have the Center Square Open Cage, which we'll get to later if that pops up. And we have Party House, 4 climbers to 9 popularity and win. Right away, we're going to see some Pilot Quest and Porgy, though, so I guess popping into those, because don't want to get too behind on the action. You want to go ahead and explain why Pilot Quest is so cool for bingo?
So, Pilot Quest. Pilot Quest is an incremental game or an idle game, in case, you're familiar with Cookie Clicker, Universal Paperclips or like, but going into Pilot Quest, there's various things that will happen while you're not playing Pilot Quest. We're planting seeds here, and those seeds are going to create moon crystals, and those moon crystals are used for moon ingots later. And we'll see more Pilot Quest later, but right now, we're just planting the seeds of success.
Yep. And one thing you'll notice about UFO 50 Bingo is it is incredibly fast-paced, and the time that it took us to explain Pilot Quest, we are out of Pilot Quest and letting it cook in the background. And during this camouflage run and future runs, Liz will also be making pilot quest progress. So it's definitely good to get that going early and just get the idle stuff going.
Absolutely. Now, we do have Porgy on the screen. So Porgy is described as sort of a Metroidvania. It's a bit of a press your luck game. As you swim in Porgy as that submarine named Porgy, you're going to lower in fuel. You want to bring stuff back to your base to make you able to go further without running out of fuel. And for the record, just letting everyone in the UFO 50 community know, fuel is a beverage. I'm on the stage, so I'm allowed to declare that now. However, we are picking up a torpedo upgrade on Karma's side. That's going to make the torpedoes even stronger. For the Porgy goals, we have returned 4 fish eggs to a mother. There's a mermaid mother that we're hopefully going to see, and we need to return 4 eggs to that mother for the goal. We also have clicked 4 torpedo upgrades. And Sio, do you want to talk about Lamia and why we love to hate Lamia?
Well, Lamia's got a great smile, but unfortunately she is a tough boss to get into early in Porgy, as we saw there. Everyone say hi Lamia in chat, because we will probably be seeing her a couple of times.
And
the Porgy bosses
hard,
show.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, she hits hard. She shows up randomly around the map, so you never exactly know if she's going to be on the way. But unfortunately, we did see right in the middle of the path there.
Yes, there are 2 bosses in each of the 3 main areas of Porgy, and they're roaming bosses, which means they can and oftentimes will appear exactly where you don't want to see them.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Liz is camouflaging her way through. Is that Liz on there? Yeah, camouflaging her way through. Camouflage is a cute little puzzle game where you're a little lizard and you gotta survive terrifying frogs and gators and birds.
Yes, and you might see a bunch of like pink rectangles come up. In addition to the magical ability to change what color our protagonist is, our protagonist also can sense where the danger is. So if you're ever in those zones when you are not the same color as the ground, you will be eaten, and you can summon those zones while holding still whenever you want, so you can just see, okay, where will I get eaten if I'm there right now? So we see masterful play through camouflage. It's a beloved puzzle game, and it's working out very well.
Yeah, definitely one of my personal favorites in the collection. This is just a cute little game, and a very easy one to pick up, I think. One of the cool things about UFO 50 is there's kind of something in here for everyone. And if you're lucky, there's 50 things in here for you.
Right? So camouflage, we do need to escape with 10 oranges. Every stage has 2 oranges and a cute little baby who's just a little buddy. We are not saving any babies today. The babies are just on their own. We want oranges. We got the oranges. Now let's see where Liz goes next.
First square marked
Speaking
off,
of
too.
saving, by the way, I just want to interject real quick with a reminder that we have a Save or Kill the Animals bid war open for Super Metroid. That's right, the classic, everyone's favorite. And unfortunately fortunately for the babies, maybe, Save is in the lead right now by a little over $100, but I understand that Kill is faster, not only in Super Metroid, but in certain places in UFO 50 as well. So chat, if you'd like to even the score, _donate and assign your donation towards that bid war.
It's really cool to be able to be a part of a Save or Kill the Animals incentive.
Do y'all have a preference as to which one you'd like to see?
I mean, we do a lot of animal saving in UFO 50 and not a lot of animal killing, but that's just my personal opinion.
Growing up, I never saved the animals because I didn't know how, but when I got the official Nintendo Player's Guide for Super Metroid, I never did a run through without saving them. I could never forgive myself. So save the animals, please, for me!
Speaking of saving the animals, we got our boy Rufus. Rufus is one of the NPCs in Grimstone, the big like Final Fantasy cowboy RPG in this game. Our goal is to get him a dog treat and level him up once. And he's the best character in Grimstone and maybe in the game.
We also need to give him a dog treat. And fun fact about dog treats in Grimstone, if Rufus is knocked out 0 HP, the dog treat will bring him back to life. Must be good treats in Texas hell.
True.
So in Valbrace here, we have the fly tech. So in Valbrace, you can see it kind of plays like Punch Out or Cross Swords, and it's also like an Eye of the Beholder-esque dungeon crawler type game with RPG elements. You have the ability to cast spells, and you learn the glyphs to cast these spells throughout the game from different places, but if you know them, you can just use them. And we know the fly spell, and unsurprisingly, the fly spell lets you go over pits, and we can just skip through most of 4-0. We're looking to do, let's see, what is the Valbrace goal for today?
Solve 2 gem puzzles, the top row.
Yes, that occurs on floor 2. So we're going through floor 0 as fast as we can, and we're going through floor 1 as fast as we can, because we just need to get to floor 2, do 2 puzzles, and then just move on with our life.
Yeah, and I guess I don't even know if we super introduced it, but for those that don't know, bingo is basically a bunch of like about 15-minute goals maximum that you can normally do at the start of the game or with access to terminal codes, which we'll get into later into the game. And it's just a bunch of kind of cool early things that you can do. And UFO 50 specifically is pretty cool for bingo because you have access to every single game at once. So you'll see here that in the time it takes us to explain one game, we're already into a completely different game of the collection. You want to talk about Mooncat and how cool it is?
I love Mooncat. So Mooncat, made by Eric Circa, one of the members of Mossmouth. Eric Circa made several games in a collection, all the different devs, they worked on different games, but Eric Circa in particular, he made Mooncat for a Ludum Dare entry many years ago, Ludum Dare being a game jam where you have to make a game within 48 or 72 hours. That game was And the Mooncats, and Mooncat is kind of a larger, fully fleshed out version of it. The category, make a game with 2 buttons, and that's exactly how many buttons you get in Mooncat. You have a left button and a right button, and using those together, you can do so much more than move left and right. You can jump, you can pound on things, and you can jump in specific directions. If the movement looks unusual, it most certainly is, and it's a beloved experience. You can't truly appreciate Mooncat until you get that in your hands, truly.
Also, look at the controls the first time you're playing Mooncat, because it is one of my favorite trolls of UFO 50.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, talking more about Mossmouth. So, Mossmouth, the team that worked on UFO 50, in universe, they're known as the UFO 50 Reclamation Team. There's this entire meta lore in UFO 50 involving this fictional company, UFO Soft, who made the LX. And there's all sorts of drama, politics, murder, and it's so fun to experience it, and you get to learn it through different Easter eggs, terminal codes. There's ways to access different forms of games by using terminal codes like Game Genie codes, and Mossmouth, they made the game. They actually made the game, but in universe, they're just the ones who polished it and gave it to the rest of us. I love it.
Oh, one of your favorites.
One of my favorites for sure, Campanella 2. Campanella 2, it's a mixture between Blaster Master and some would even describe it as Spelunky 3. You are playing as Isabel. Your brother stored his gold here, and you have to save him because he's in jail because the entire station was overrun by monsters. We have these on-foot sequences, and we also have the sequences where you're in her UFO ship, also known as the Big Bell. So, for Campanella 2, we need to purchase something from 5 unique green door shops. That sounds awfully spicy to me,Cio. And we're down.
The spiciest thing of all is running off the ledge.
There's nothing more Campanella 2 than accidentally just as Isabel walking off a ledge and dying. It happens to everyone, especially in the first playthrough.
Like ScouSin was mentioning, you may notice that this is a completely different layout than the last time Liz played this, because this game is procedurally generated. And one of the coolest things about Camp 2 is you really never know what you're going to get, so it's always kind of just figuring it out on the fly. And sometimes you get really good layouts, and sometimes you don't, and you clutch it out anyway.
By the way, y'all were talking about how you keep going so fast because the runners are going so fast that you can't explain the games as they're happening because they're too fast. Well, chat's doing the same thing because I was going to call out $118,000, but we are already over $119,000 raised for the National Women's Law Center. Let's go! That means we are only about $6,000 away from unlocking Super Metroid as our bonus game, and we have one lovely participant who's helping us get there. $500 from the Yeti, who says,
Yo.
"Hey all, Yeti here. Did you know we have a full lineup of teas available just in time for Frost Fatales? And not just this year's wonderful event tea, a whole collection of teas inspired by the games of Frost Fatales, including an official UFO 50 design created in collaboration with the team at Mossmouth. A portion from each tea sold gets donated to the National Women's Law Center, so every little bit counts. Thanks to everyone who's picked up a tea so far, and if you still need to get yours, head on over to theyeti.com/frostfatales during the event. It is gorgeous. I have seen it. This whole team has seen it. Please go ahead and check that out. Also,
It's
if
so
you
cute.
are looking to help unlock our bonus game of Super Metroid, $10 will get you in to win our UFO 50 prize for the day as well. The Campanella, we just saw that, UFO 50 wooden coaster. So !donate, let's get that met.
Thank you. Yes. Shout out to the Yeti, longtime sponsor of all GDQ events. That shirt, mwah.
So good.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely go check that out. Also, y'all put out the call for save, and save is dominating the spin war right now. $765 versus $213 for kill. So if y'all like the frames, if y'all want Glove to go fast, y'all know what to do. You gotta go donate to kill. I love saving animals as much as the next person, but just remember, they're pixels on your screen, not real animals.
They're real to me.
Well, if you agree, then !donate, and let's hit 1,000 on save. We're only about 300 away from that.
Let's get there, y'all.
!donate.
So one of our goals for Mooncat was get a gold disc. CO, what's a gold disc? What's a cherry disc? And
Yeah.
why do we care?
So UFO 50 has, I guess, a couple of different levels of completion for each game. When you first dust off a game and get used to it or whatever, you have a blue cartridge, but whenever you do whatever the game considers to have beaten it, which is normally just getting to the end of the game and seeing credits for the first time or whatever, you get a gold disc, which we saw Liz get at the end of Mooncat by taking out the bunny boss. And if Liz really wanted to, she could go ahead and get the 2 hidden things in Mooncat as well, and get a cherry disc, which is basically the game's like 100% completion mark. And we do have both gold discs and cherry discs on this board. If you happen to watch another game of UFO 50, you may even see something that we call general goals, where you'll have an entire square dedicated to just getting gold discs or cherry discs. For the purposes of this marathon, we didn't want to run with any of those because it's a little bit harder to track live. And we mostly just wanted to give y'all a chance to see all of the cool games, including Seaside. Which we're...
Oh, sorry. I just had a donation mentioning Seaside, so I was thinking about
Nice.
putting it in if y'all have got time.
Let's have
Go
it.
for it.
Let's have it.
Okay. And of course, it's in my brain. No, it's in my face. $48 from Glove. Seaside Drive is peak gaming. You drive a cool car, you listen to cool tunes, and you shoot at planes, ghosts, and fish. Much love from the entire UFO 50 community.
Of
Thank you,
course,
Glove.
it was Glove.
Yeah.
Glove's favorite game is Seaside Drive. He's a connoisseur, but also Glove is the one who has created the UFO 50 Discord server. He's the one who, he's been banging the UFO 50 hammer long before UFO 50 came out. So shout out to Glove for essentially, spawning the community that has very much become larger than any of us. Glove is the GOAT.
Yeah, the UFO 50 community is something special. It is very cool to see how many people really like all of these seemingly old games that are actually brand new games, and how much there is still to optimize and stuff. You may think that this specific board is full of a lot of really difficult goals, but one of the cool things about UFO 50 Bingo is you can do as simple of goals as you want. We have like entire rule sets where the goals are meant to be done like really, really quickly. You're able to do draft bingo like we're doing here and just pick like a couple of games. So if you haven't played the full collection yet, you can do it that way. Or if you're a true UFO 50 sicko, like everyone on this call, you can go ahead and add some spicy goals, which are some of the hardest things that you can do in UFO 50 in about 15 minutes or so normally.
Absolutely. So in Seaside Drive, we are going to the second stage. You may have noticed at this point that you are firing a lot of shots. Like, you're a convertible, but you're up for blood. And look at all these cubes that we have to destroy. We have to defeat stage 2, and this game's primary mechanic is the shot power system. Now, you're probably not going to see any shots that are weaker than red. Red is the most powerful shot. You need to drift by moving to the left to fill up your bar, and anytime you're not drifting, it's going to slowly go down. So we have excellent shot power management occurring with Karma. Like, in a casual playthrough, there's a lot more to manage, but Karma's just doing perfectly in the whole thing. Cio, do you want to talk about Golfaria?
I would love to. So this is a pretty, I would say, divisive game until you learn how to get to these specific power-ups that we're getting to right here. Golfaria is kind of like an old adventure game, but instead of running around and going through a bunch of dungeons, you have golf strokes, which is really interesting and really fun. And while you're starting off with this game, you're kind of just throwing your ball around as much as you can until you get to this power up right here, the brakes, where then you can stop wherever you want to and actually like plan your shots slightly better.
And the goal is just to pick it up, so we're done.
Yep, so that's actually all we're going to be seeing of Golfaria as we pop into one of Liz's favorite games, Camp 3, and pop right back out of it. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and check on Pilot Quest.
So this is that incremental part. So you start Pilot Quest early whenever you have spare moments. You can craft an ingot with 1,000 moon drops, and with that ingot, you can build up the meat seller. Now, the meat seller sells you meat, but every 6 minutes when you're in other games, there will be another meat for us to purchase for 500 moon drops. And if you enter there in less than 6 minutes, the timer restarts. So we're not going to see Pilot Quest on Liz's side for at least 6 minutes, but we are going to see Campanella 3. So Campanella 3, the final game of the trilogy. Cio, what are we looking at?
Yeah,
How
so
do I understand this?
If you ever played one of the old Star Fox games, this is basically Star Fox, but in a little bit of a grid. If you look in the top right corner, you'll be able to see a bunch of red dots, squares, and X's. As you start to have enemies approach you, you can line up with them to either shoot them or do a special shot off to the side. You'll notice that both of the games that are on screen right now actually have a shot off to the side or a different one. One of the cool things about UFO 50 is even though there's a bunch of different games represented, there are some similarities, like some of the shmups all kind of handle fairly similarly. And we do get to see Pilot Quest opened on the other side, so... So again, comparison, when we start off Pilot Quest, we have absolutely nothing and aren't earning anything incrementally. It's not until we buy these seeds that we actually start to earn, I think it's 1 per second.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, and then once we get up to 1,000 of these bits, or if we get really lucky and get the canvas luck and just get an ingot right away, that guy standing there in the middle of the rubble will have a meat shack. And once we get the meat shack online, there will be a whole other portion of Pilot Quest that we get to look forward to, but just building up to it for now.
Yes.
We're seeing it.
So Karma is opening open cage. So we have these terminals that are modifiers for games. So neither player actually selected Night Matter, which is, think like The Uninvited on the NES. It is a horror game. It's a point-and-click game. But Cio, we're normally running from a mold monster, a man who's very moldy and dangerous. Surely open cage doesn't do anything about that, does it?
It does make it more terrifying, just as a heads up, but this terminal code, as well as a couple of other terminal codes you'll see throughout the game, are game-intended cheat codes, I guess you could say, that let you access the games in a little bit of different ways. So, kind of like ScouSin was saying, basically we're running around collecting items, and as we go through this kind of scary house, right now you're seeing that it's a little empty, but as we get to our best friend over here...
Okay, that is an animal that I would frankly like to kill.
That is, if that's what Super Metroid is, y'all can kill the animals. That's fine.
All right. Well, you know what? It's not that I didn't even say it. Kills at $313, by the way. Up next to Save's 860, so Save is winning by just a little bit. But if you'd also like to kill the evil hamster, please go ahead and type !donate. To donate towards the National Women's Law Center, I want to remind everyone that we are working towards $125,000 raised for the NWLC to unlock Super Metroid right after this draft bingo race. And you can see that those squares are filling up super, super quickly. So we do not have a whole lot more time to raise about $6,000 for that. And if you'd like to send in a UFO 50 donation, I have a great example for you. $12 from Hot Pockets, who says Rexodon is the best god, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Rexodon is the best god. That's part of a game, Avianos, which unfortunately we will not be seeing today. Avianos is a 4X game. You know how CEO said that there's something in here for everyone? If you like Civilization, we got you covered. And yes, Rexodon is bae. So we just completed Campanella 3, clear 6 waves 100%. That's basically getting perfect waves. And we're going into Party House. This is where you can invite monkeys to your party, and the cute dogs keep the police from coming to stop those monkeys, and then you'll get mermaids that hopefully won't make the fire marshal close you down. And now we're going into Divers. CEO, Divers is very mysterious and spooky. I'm afraid of what's happening. What are we in for?
Yeah, so one of the RPGs in the collection, but the twist on this one is what would normally be overworld navigation is a dive expedition. So you're one of 3 little lizards here, Dylan, Orlock, or Time. And when you get into battles, it's a pretty traditional, I guess, Final Fantasy Dragon Quest-y kind of battle system. But the overworld is just trying to, without giving too much away about the game, trying to get as far down into the depths as you can. We do have a couple of, or at least one very lengthy diver's goal here for winning a fight against piranhas. We haven't really even had time to talk about these goals that the players are attempting because they keep flying off the board, but this one specifically will require at least level 3, I believe, and to get lucky with a drop.
So in order to defeat the piranhas, so think like original Final Fantasy 2, where if you take 2 steps in the wrong direction, the monsters just beat you up. Divers is the same way. If you go down, you're fine. If you go left, you're fine. If you go right, the piranhas will eat you very quickly. And normally you're expected to be very leveled up for them, but we have devised a strategy where if you're level 3 and you have an upgraded weapon that you can obtain and you have a bomb, you can kill the piranha. I probably should have led with the bomb, because that's probably the most important part of the strat. And also, we're killing piranhas with bombs.
Absolutely.
So we're going to need levels. We're going to need some relics from random drops to actually be able to purchase what we need. So we're going to be seeing a lot of good old-fashioned RPG grinding on Liz's side, while Kerma, is hiding from a hamster. It's a game where you have to hold your breath.
Yeah, so one of the cool things about Night Manor is while you're running around trying to figure out how to escape this terrifying house, Hamster Friend is still coming after you, trying to take you out. And if he catches up to you, you get scared and the cursor starts to shake around a bunch, and you have to basically run to a hiding spot and just hold your breath and hope that he doesn't see you. So with this goal specifically, that is the only way that Karma's going to be able to escape the killer here. And the goal requires that Karma get through this without getting killed. So there is a pretty decent amount of tension as we get into the late portion of this run. Yes.
So essentially, the open cage requirement is to cherry disc the game. There's 2 different endings in Night Manor, and in order to get the cherry disc, you have to, quote, end the nightmare. And in order to end the nightmare, you will have to pick up nearly everything in the game. There's lore, there's journal entries. We aren't too interested in that, but we're gonna need gems. We need a pool cue. We're gonna need to get things that create noise when we acquire them, which is going to summon the hamster. And our runners know how to do something called a noise chain. The way the game works is when you create noise, after a certain timer has elapsed, the killer's going to come and attack you. But if you create noise, and then you create noise, and then you create noise, you can chain these things that allow you to reset that timer, and you won't get caught. Now, granted, when the killer finds you, you can still escape from them by either running away as far as you can. If you run far enough, they'll give up, or you go into that hiding minigame. And that hiding minigame, let me tell you, casually starting out, it was tough. It was really hard. I struggled with it.
Yeah, it can be very tricky. The timing on it's pretty tight, and the amount of times you actually have to hold your breath is random. So you kind of are hoping for good RNG also.
Yes, yes.
But I guess as both players are kind of making their way through the Night Manor and to level 3, this might be a good time for donations if y'all want to hurry up and get Super Metroid in.
Oh, yeah, we have so many. As a reminder, we do need to get $125,000 raised for the National Women's Law Center total to unlock Super Metroid right after this run. So we're still a little bit less than $6,000 away from that. So chat, now is absolutely the time to donate. We have a lot of shout outs for favorite UFO 50 games, so feel free to follow suit with those folks. And we also have a lot of love from your community. So we've got $100 from Keeney, who says, if Liz ain't saving the animals, someone has to.
Shout out to Keeney, who's really good at Rail Heist, which unfortunately we will not see today. It's one of our most beloved games, though. So if you want to see something, if you want to play something that we aren't showcasing here today, remember, UFO 50's out there. It's like 50 cents per game. I would pay the full price for just a few of these. It's that good. Rail Heist, that's one of those games you'd pay the full price for. Absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we want to make sure we also do that for Super Metroid. Now, that donation did reference the Save Kill Bid War. Right now, Save is pulling even further ahead, $920 on Save, which means it's only $80 away from 1K. So Save, folks, you've got something to prove. But Kill, folks, we really need your help, because we can see the evil hamster still on the screen for Night Manor for Karma here, and we want to make sure we get away from that thing. So please go ahead and donate towards the Kill option if you'd like to even the score. We've also got some love for Spicy Bingo goals. $10 from Anonymous, which is enough to get you into that UFO 50 coaster prize, who says hooray for Spicy Bingo goals. They have been a lot of fun. And we've got another $10. Again, $10 is all you need to get entered into our UFO 50 prize for the day, who says, shoutouts to the best community ever and the wonderful runners/commentators, especially ScouSin, a wonderful friend of mine, less than 3. And that's from Val1407.
Oh, Val, I love you. Val is one of our awesome moderators in the UFO 50 community. He loves Combat Ants, which you don't get to see here, but rest assured, Combat Ants is an excellent UFO 50 game that just doesn't get the love it deserves.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you agree with that and have a game that you don't think gets as much love as it deserves, donate and tell us about it. We might read it.
Or donate and tell us why Party House is your favorite.
Party House is the best game. Can't change my mind.
We do have $25 from Anonymous, who says $25 for Party House and for a great cause. Thank you so much.
I'm fist pumping right now. One of my own. So we are level 3 on Lizstar's side. So we're hoping to get into a fight with Piranha. Here we are. This is the moment. We're throwing a bomb. The Piranha's gone. Now that left Piranha is what we really want to focus on. That guy in the middle, he's small potatoes compared to the Piranha.
Yeah, the Piranha can leech damage and does a ridiculous amount of damage right now. Very nice.
Perfect RNG, perfect execution. That
just needs to finish this fight, and there you go. Very nice.
And on Karma's side, we are just grabbing a lot of the last stuff that we need for this. We do have the combination for the save, which of course is it's February 29th. You know, the leap year. Funny things happen in leap year in UFO 50, I assure you. And Liz is now hopping into Porgy as well. So we do still have Porgy goals on the field. We have 2 of them. I want to see that completed because I love Porgy.
Yeah, so kind of interesting bingo strategy here. When you have multiple spaces on the board for the same game, if you mark one off, typically it means that you're like pretty far along in progress on the other one. and can sometimes scare your opponent out of it, because as a reminder, both Karma and Liz don't know what each other are doing right now outside of the spaces that are marked off on the board. So if you're in Liz's position, you already know that Karma has porgy progress, but obviously is busy doing other things. So we get a lot of really exciting head-to-heads and races and stuff in UFO 50 Bingo. Shoutouts to the UFO 50 Bingo League for a lot of excitement for similar stuff like this, by the way.
Shout out to Matt in particular. Like we are very much a community, and everyone is a part of the success. We have a massive list of people who stream matches. We have participants, casters, we have modders, we have an incredibly talented community. We have Lamia, but Matt has kind of he's picking up the reins over the last year or so with regards to Bingo, and he's just been knocking it out of the park. Bingo would not be what it is without you, Matt. Mwah.
Yeah, the UFO 50 Bingo community is very special. I joined it about a year ago now, kind of just expecting to play a bunch of games and stuff and make some new friends, but it is very much evolved into something that is a really, really cool part to be a part of.
Oh yeah, and we always have room for more friends. So anyone who maybe you haven't played UFO 50, or you have but you haven't, you've been thinking about joining Discord, join in. There's always more. There's more room for friends. Some of my best friends are in the UFO 50 community, so please join us, let us meet you, and be a part of this magic that we're creating every single day.
It's true. And even if you haven't played very much UFO 50, we had matches last season from people who had literally just downloaded the game, and they were a blast. People did really well, and one of those players even stuck around to become an A-tier player. Some of our highest tier action that we could possibly have. So
it's true. And we do have tiers for all levels of skill, by the way. So we do have a season in progress, but that doesn't stop you from just playing bingo, learning, participating, doing practice matches. We have folks of all skill levels. Like we have very skilled competitors here, but even if you're brand new, we'd love to have you, and we'd love to show you what we have. It's always a good time. And we are grabbing a very important item on Karma's side, CO. Now, I'm not a fan of killing the animals in Super Metroid, but do we have to kill an animal in Night Manor?
So, to be fair, this hamster has been chasing us around with a knife for like 10 minutes now. So
yeah,
this is a little bit more.
Fair.
So everyone say goodbye to our best buddy, the hamster. I have not seen the death animation.
So, I do want to let y'all know that Chad is helping us avoid that devastating fate for the animals in Super Metroid, because not only did save cross $1,000, we have $1,420 on that now, and I believe that is thanks to $500 from Anonymous, who says it's sad to be busy on Frostfatale's last day, but we can't end it without seeing Super Metroid. Let's go, women, and let's make it fast. Less than 3. So, Save is winning by a lot. But chat, if you want to make sure to defend yourself from the evil hamster, you can go ahead and donate towards Kill. It is still there, waiting for you to help it out. We want to help the little guy, right? The underdog?
Exactly.
Dog.
Yeah.
It's
anything to get Super Metroid, Matt.
Exactly. Now we are almost $5,000 away. We are almost to $1,200 or $120,000. Woo! Raised for the National Women's Law Center, but we're just a little bit under that. So chat, let's get us over that so we can pop off real soon! ! Donate.
Yeah, let's make it happen, chat.
So in Night Manor here, we haven't quite ended the nightmare. It is not enough to use a crossbow on a hamster with a meat cleaver. We have to get to the heart of this, and we have to cleanse the house. And for this, we needed many MacGuffins. And fortunately, Karma has acquired all of those MacGuffins, I think. So we're gonna go through a store, and it's gonna be pretty spooky in there. So if you have a nervous disposition, watch out. We have a very, very scary moldy face coming up.
You might want to look away for the next 5 to 10 seconds. We'll let y'all know when it's good. This is what the game normally looks like, by the way, if you're going hamsterless.
And
there we
it's
go.
gone. So you're good now. We have set the house on fire. It's the only way to be sure. The nightmare's
I'm so
over,
glad that
and
got met.
That is center square. Thank you, all donators. We would not have been able to do that. We wouldn't have been able to show that off if it wasn't for you. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. That's one of the community's favorite spaces, and we definitely wanted to make sure we showed it off for this bingo match. Neither
And
player
we
actually
did make
drafted
sure it
Night
was
Manor,
middle.
and before the match, it was kind of funny that both Karma and Liz realized last second that they didn't draft Night Manor, and it was very fun to listen to the reaction of that, knowing we had snuck it onto the board, knowing that it would be a fan favorite for y'all.
Okay, Karma is going into the wild zone with one piece of meat. Now, Sio, we have 120 seconds on the clock. That's for one piece of meat. What are we out here doing? We have to activate 2 teleporters. What is this business about teleporters? I was enjoying the incremental part of this game.
So we can also actually defeat Unktomi here because there's 2 spaces for it. So I don't exactly know which one we're going here first, but basically,
It depends on drops.
yeah. So each of the times that the players have dipped into Pilot Quest, they've been trying to build up to the point where they can access this Wild Zone. The Wild Zone is kind of a similar to top-down Legend of Zelda adventure game, but instead of health, you have time that you can spend in this Wild Zone before you die. And when you take damage, as we saw from that one guy who shot Karma there, she lost 30 seconds. So you are able to up the time a little bit here if you get lucky, but this is going to be cutting it pretty close.
Okay, good.
Oh, we got it.
And
Nice.
that energy, that's only dropped by bosses. That does give us some precious time back. So Karma is now okay. Originally, she did not have enough time to make it back, but we're good. And yes,
Yep.
that is kind of a cheese tray, and that's what we all do for bingo.
Yep.
Just
And
hit it
while
with the
that
yo-yo through
happened,
the wall.
While that happened, we are seeing Magic Garden, one of Lizstar's favorite games. She mentioned before the cast that this was basically Snake, but harder. And especially with Overgrow, that's the case. Do you want to explain to the audience what Overgrow is?
Yes, so this is actually another spicy goal. So in order to actually achieve this goal, Lizstar is going to need to drop off 45 of, oh, that's a death. 45 Oppies. Oppies are those cute little pink little buddies. And we need to drop off 45 of them. However, these angry Oppies that we call Bloppies, these blue ones, they will end your run instantly. The run ends if you get hit by a Blobby, hit by a mushroom if it shows up, bump into your own snake, or even just hit the wall. And normally, every time you drop off 6 Oppies, you spawn a potion, and that potion is like Pac-Man power pellets, where it'll make all of the Bloppies, afraid, and you'll be able to eat them and clear the field, get lots of points. Overgrow says, no potions. We're just going to have angry Bloppies until you lose. And that's how it is. Like, this is just going to get worse until either Lizstar loses or gets the goal.
And we're getting the Overgrow race after a failed Pilot Quest attempt.
Oh,
This
wow.
is our
Head-to-head.
first race of the day. We do kind of have a Pilot Quest race going on. It's happening in the background because both players have progress in Pilot Quest, but... Oh?
YOLO.
We're YOLOing it! So a race.
Yeah, so these races are completely natural. As a reminder again, the players have no clue what the other one is doing right now. A lot of the time, you would be surprised at how much the board laying out a certain way kind of forces both players into the same game. But whoever gets this space first is eligible to mark it first. So, especially with a goal that can theoretically be this fast, it really just comes down to whoever can execute it first.
Oh, yes. And by the way, this is actually a very important square. We haven't really been talking about bingo danger because both players, not only have they not been racing, they've also been kind of playing defensively, staying out of each other's way. This goal is in row 4. And in row 4, we already have Camouflage and Porgy for Lizstar. So if Lizstar gets this Overgrow goal, then she could get the Grimstone goal in Alphazar's hat in order to achieve bingo, which will instantly win the match in her favor. There is a lot of game to go, and especially if Karma's able to get the goal first, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board to see where we're going, but this is a very strategic square for both players. They both want this square.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And,
with this head-to-head going the way it is, and with these two runners going really fast, as y'all just said, how much time do we think we have to unlock Super Metroid? Roughly.
I would say maybe an hour tops. Unfortunately, Liz did die at like 42 oppies there, so...
It hurts. So we have about an hour. Yeah, give or take.
Okay, so chat, that is an hour time to raise over $5,000 to get this Super Metroid run met. So I know that chat can do this. Chat is going into a head-to-head with our UFO 50 runners, and I know they can come out on top. But to do so, y'all gotta click !donate, type it in chat, or click the donate to charity button right underneath your screen, like $100 from Zachary20XX, who just says gaming.
Yeah, Zachary. All right, we were seeing Alphazar's hat for the first
donations
time.
goes towards that milestone, by the way. So no matter whether you put it towards save or kill, I saw a kill get a little bit of love, but it's still very behind, very much the little guy. You're going to want to go ahead and donate towards the National Women's Law Center to get Super Metroid met.
Oh, Liz did get the 45, excuse me.
Yes.
We must have missed that.
Liz did get the 45 just at the end there and just immediately left. So we're kind of in a race. We're not in a race to get a specific goal, but we have two potential goals that could give Lizstar bingo, but she needs to get both of them. We have clear stage 4 in Alphazar's hat. That is what we in the community call a very hard goal, because there's 4 different levels of goals. There's easy, medium, hard, and very hard. And every card has a couple very hards. These are not spicy goals. This is not a spicy goal. It's just a very hard, which means it's going to be time consuming, it's going to be challenging, and we need it for bingo, so that's what we're doing. Meanwhile, we also have Grimstone. Collect the money from the burned house. Now, Grimstone has this system where you get into encounters whenever those purple flames touch you, and if you have a smaller party, it's easier to dodge them. We want to avoid them because this one character, Aol, on his own, he can dodge battles, but he can't fight. He's low level, he's alone, but we do need to get to the end of this cave to learn about the money in the burned house. And mind you, it's not the saloon that burned down, it's a different building that burned down. We burn lots of buildings down in Grimstone.
It's true. And meanwhile, during that explanation, we're already at Alphazar's hat, stage 1 boss. I guess just to quickly explain Alphazar's hat, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, it's kind of like a Pocky and Rocky character shooter. But the gimmick of this one is you're a little bunny who's escaping from a magician's magic set, I guess, and just trying to get your revenge against all these little magical creatures. And there's a fun little power-up system in this one that I imagine we'll start to see, since we are playing pretty far into this one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Where basically you have to match up a couple of drops from enemies based on what icon shows up. And right now, it doesn't look like we have any power-ups, so this is kind of just base form bunny. But we can get pretty powerful with this, so it'll be fun to see if we end up picking those up.
This level is kind of an auto score, so this is a really good place to pick up cards that you want. There are some cards that are better than others, so you're probably going to see that Karma's just going to pass on some cards, even though she could just casually pick them up. We don't want those snowflakes. We don't want them. And by the way, this game, Alphazar's Hat, you might notice that there's spot for a second player. Half of the games in UFO 50 have second player support. These are cooperative games, these are competitive games. We have tournaments in the community for the competitive games, and let me tell you, you can collect golden cherry discs with a friend too. Alphazar's Hat in particular is an excellent cooperative game, so please, if you have a friend, couch co-op, it's all yours.
Yeah, couch co-op's pretty hard to come across in a lot of games today, so it's really cool that this game has, like, I forget exactly how many, but it's like 20 or so games that you can play as multiplayer. And
Yes.
It is an absolute blast.
And to showcase a little more of our amazing modding community, we have a large modding community, which, you know, couch co-op, CL, what if I want to play a cooperative game for you and I live in a different state? Well, it turns out we have a modder who created a system that turns couch co-op into online co-op. We have another modder that adds more co-op to more games and even up to like 6-player co-op. Our modding team, mwah, play forever, y'all. That's the UFO 50 model, and truly, you can play this game forever. There's so much to see.
Yeah, one of my
Speaking y'all's
personal
wonderful
favorite.
community, we sorry to cut you off, but we have
You're good.
so many donations. So
Yeah,
whenever
please.
y'all are ready, I also want to shout out real quick that we did hit $120,000 towards the National Women's Law Center. So we are under $5,000 away from unlocking Super Metroid, thanks to donations like $25 from He Who A Mare Is Myself, who says, this community is a special combination of creative, experimental, innovative, and most importantly, kind. I'm so happy to see this right now.
Yes, thank you. And yes, let's please see Super Metroid. I love Super Metroid. You love Super Metroid. Let's enjoy a PRKD run that's Phantoon, Ridley, Kraid, and Dragon in that order. That's not the way you played it growing up. You gotta see this.
And who doesn't
And
want
also,
more Frost Fatales?
if you like gaming as well, and also, first of all, shout out any retro game that you absolutely love in your donation, because UFO 50, of course, a super loving tribute towards retro gaming, and Super Metroid, one of the most legendary retro games of all time. I'd love to hear about y'all's retro favorites, whether they are as well known and beloved as Super Metroid, or if there's something a little bit more niche. And if you love gaming in general, as well as much as we do, you'll love this. We've got $750 from Humble. That says, Humble Bundle is proud to present 7 amazing titles in the Frost Fatales collection. Check out the bundle at gdq.gg/humble and support the National Women's Law Center with your purchase. That gets us ever closer to $125,000. Thank you so much, Humble. Tell us about your favorite retro games, and let's get Super Metroid met, y'all.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Cio, what's your favorite retro game?
So I guess it depends on how far back we're going with retro, but I personally think my favorite's Donkey Kong Country. I just really love that game.
That's a great pick. For me, I was actually just playing earlier today, Tetris Attack. Anyone who knows Tetris Attack, also known as
yes.
Pokemon Puzzle League, Panel de Pan, I never can get enough of that game. I love it. Satanherself, what's your favorite retro game?
Oh, goodness. I am going to have to go in the Metroid series, but one of the first true retro games I ever played was the original Metroid, which I think is criminally underrated, in my opinion.
Nice.
Still really,
so
really good
good
to this day.
If you play it, be sure to bring a way to draw your own map. And don't look up a map online. Don't look up a map online
my
for
gosh.
Metroid. Draw a map yourself. That's the way it's intended. That's the way it's best. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever, make them draw the map while you play. Turn it into a couple's experience. You'd
I
love
love
it.
Partner Metroid. That's such a good idea.
That is a great
Exclamation mark
idea.
donate. If you love your partner, by the way, we love hearing those shout outs and donations. Exclamation mark donate. I want to see sweet, loving tributes towards the people that y'all love in your life. This has been just a great celebration of love for this game, love for this community. So shout out some love for your community and the people who are special to you.
Well, on that note, shout outs to my wife, Princess Bun Bun, because I told her I was going to give her a shout out during this.
And shout out to my wife, Lily Dragon. She's actually in the other room watching.
Yep. Cool. Glad we got that in.
So we're now in the Grand Palace of Alphazar's Hat. It's kind of funny because Alphazar's Hat, speeding stage 4 is pretty much almost the entire game. So
Yeah.
true to its being a very hard, we're getting through there. And by the way, we did manage to go to the burned down house, and we did manage to get the money from the burned down house. So Lizstar is also hopping in Alphazar's Hat. Now, at this point, Liz is probably not going to get that goal because Karma's very far along. In Alphazar's Hat, you do have lives. If you run out of lives, you have to use a continue, which just starts you at the beginning of the stage with a new set of lives. So the odds that Karma's going to lose this goal to Lizstar are very small.
Yeah,
So,
especially since Karma did a thing specifically for the gold disc route where she ended up actually taking an intentional game over to reset her life count. One of the cool things about Alphazar's Hat is, like we were talking about before, if you want to cherry the game, you basically have to do it on one set of continues and just kind of hope for the best. But if you're gold disking it, all you really have to do is just kind of beat each stage back to back. You get save points between each stage, and it's actually pretty lenient, I would say.
Yeah.
And one of the nice things about this, if this was a regular match, is if you're Lizstar and got into this goal at about the same time, you would be threatening a normally game-ending bingo here. If Lizstar were able to mark off this Alphazar's Hat, even if she was behind 13 to 6 or something like that, she would still be able to win the game off of that. So one of the many hype things about UFO 50 Bingo is you'll very often see situations like that where it looks like the game is going one way before it completely flips and goes another way. And especially with the league, I feel like you'd see that all the time. So shout outs to everyone who's casting for that, playing in that, setting it up. Y'all are the best.
For real, yes. I can't emphasize enough. This is one game of bingo, and we have 70 people involved in our UFO 50 Bingo League, our Season 3. That's 70 people. Every person has a match every week for 8 weeks. So, you do the math, that's 35 matches a week. If you like bingo, and yes, we all love bingo, there's no shortage of content for you, and every game's different, not just because the goals are different, but because thanks to one of our most beloved members of the community, Frank, we have this entire site. We have bingo functionality like you wouldn't believe. It's incredible. And for the season, we have a new system where, okay, instead of these levels, you might have to do these levels, and it's true random. So this is the best time to get involved in bingo. Even if you're not in the league, join us. Yeah. One of us.
One of the coolest things I think about UFO 50 is how far along UFO 50.bingo's come along. If you want to ever just practice goals, they have every single goal on the site with like timers that save your splits and stuff, so you can come back to it and learn specific games. You can learn entire like tiers of difficulty if you want to just learn all the hard goals, for instance. Everyone in the UFO 50 Bingo community is very well aware of how much Frank has helped shaped it for us, but major personal shout outs to Frank because there's been a lot that has gone into this.
So, Karma's
real
side,
quick, I do have something pretty important to talk about. First of all, we were talking about competitiveness. Kill is making a sneaky comeback. It's within about $400 right now of save. So, chat, if you are save lovers or kill lovers, you know what to do. Either help your favorite option get back in the lead, or keep it far away. But the super important, exciting new thing is that we have a new incentive open for the Super Metroid run. If, of course, we get it met. If we get $2,000 towards that incentive, we are going to unlock the Trans Pride Samus sprite. So that's right. We will get Trans Pride colors on Samus if we get that met. So $2,000 is needed for that towards the National Women's Law Center. And of course, to see that in effect, we will need $125,000 total towards the National Women's Law Center to unlock Super Metroid. Right now, we are just almost under 121. So chat, come on, let's get there and let's get a pop off. We're so close. But also, we're really close to this run ending, so come on, y'all. Exclamation mark.
You can do it!
You can
do it, Chad.
We just defeated the stage 4 boss of Alphazar's Hat, so that was claimed by Karma for the block. Lizstar did kind of decide she wasn't getting the bingo, so she hopped into Palette Quest, where we are going to beat up a giant spider with a yo-yo. I'd say it makes sense in context, but that is the entire context. So that was done, so that will be a goal for Lizstar.
And then the spider apologizes, and we're good.
Now, keep in mind, the spider didn't die. The spider was just very angry, and now they're going to spin Silk for us. We're not going to do anything with that because we don't need to do that, but we do still need to activate 2 teleporters. CO, what's randomized for Palette Quest for our 2 players?
Yeah, so we haven't even gotten a chance to mention it, but one of the cool things about Pilot Quest is each time you go out into this wild area, the first time you go out each game, it randomizes to a pretty different layout. Some of these are basically the paths to and from the teleporters that we're working on, where players will need to get these coins called Soldnecks, which Liz looks like we both have 1 coin. We're going to need a total of 6 coins total to be able to activate both teleporters. So we're going to see a little bit of overworld grinding. We're going to try to kill some quick bosses if we can. We may even see a little bit of a dip to see our sister Isabel. I think we saw that earlier in the match, but we're... as you can imagine with UFO 50 Bingo, there's a lot to talk about, and we didn't have time to cover it there, but opening up treasure chests, just looking
The
for
most
coins.
important takeaway is that Isabelle is the best character in UFO 50. No one can change my mind unless I hear it in donations.
That's true.
So true. Also, I heard y'all, speaking of, talking about Frank. I also am now hearing Frank because Frank says bingo with $25. Thank you, Frank.
Heck yeah. Thank you, Frank.
Frank is just the best. Like this is in part a Frank appreciation stream because bingo's just so amazing. Thanks and thank you, Frank. These dungeons, so we do see that these players are going through the dungeons a little bit. There are 7 caves. There are 3 dungeons that we don't want to see because those are part of things we don't want to do. And then there's 4 other caves that have other possible amenities. We saw the Grambler. She's named that way because she's a grandma and she has a gambling minigame, so we call her the Grambler. She has an official name, but I don't know of it. We are dipping into a dungeon on Lizstar side, probably looking for some chests, possibly looking for just any way to get Zoldnaks. Zoldnaks are a rare drop in Pilot Quest, and we just need Zoldnaks, y'all. This is kind of a grind, so to speak. We need those coins.
And she's going to need it fast because I'm pretty sure Karma's already activated the first teleporter and is on her way to the second one now. During that last trip, we saw her dip back out and come back in to basically spend the meat that she had collected last time. And yeah, there we go. Very nice.
So talking about majority for a moment, there is no bingo possible on the board for other players. So we are playing a 13. Right now, Lizstar, blue, has 10 goals. She needs 3 to win. Karma has 8 goals. She needs 5 to win. Now, that is, of course, a lead, but there's plenty of bingo to go. There's plenty of opportunity for snipes. And as the game goes on, you're much more likely to see players get into a race with each other because there's just less games to choose from. Caramel, the game where you have a camera and you can't even take a selfie. CO, what is this?
So I really like this game. This is one of the shmups in the collection where it's kind of like Gradius, where you're going side-scrolling through a bunch of tight areas. The gimmick of this one is you have a camera that you can take pictures with and either freeze enemies or interact with background elements or in some cases, as we're about to see here, interact with the boss. This specific goal, you're actually not going to see the camera before the boss, so we get to see pretty straight up caramel. This is what it would look like if you're not able to pause anything. But if you look a little bit farther ahead of where Karma's actually at right now, you'll see a square reticle, and basically if she were to hit the other button in UFO 50, it would take a big picture and freeze everything in there. It'd make everything worth double points, and it has extra special interactions. Like, for instance, if you were going to take a picture of that purple guy that was hanging from the ceiling, he would fall down because he isn't able to, like, grab onto it anymore. So, very creative game. And speaking of creative games, on the other side of the screen, we have a cherry disc attempt of Velgress. Do you want to talk about this one?
I would love to, because this is one of the goals that I just can't do. I can't do this goal. I can do almost every goal in the entire collection in all of bingo, but this is one of the hardest ones. This is a very hard goal, both in name and just, it's a hard goal. So you have to cherry disc the game, which means you have to kill 3 birds, kill the animals, or save the animals, and each of them drops a key. We need all 3 keys. Then we need to beat the 3rd stage, play the bonus stage, and beat the true final boss, which is going to be Charkus. You don't need to know the name, but I wanted to share it because I just really like the name Charkus. So Velgress, it is kind of a, I wouldn't call it a roguelike. It is a procedurally generated game. This up well, contrasting down well. These layouts are random, and if you fall into the spikes, you die and you have to start from scratch. If you hit an enemy, they don't kill you, but they will stun you and it hurts. For this goal, we have to cherry disc, get all 3 keys, beat the true final boss, and we can't buy upgrades from the shop, and there are these star pads which shoot you way up. We can't use those either. So this is all Lizstar being awesome at Velgress. And let me tell you, Velgress is one of the hardest games in the collection. I can't do this goal. Liz is doing it. So far, first try, perfect.
Speaking of first try, good job from Karma. Also, I think I see in chat that something got met. Am I correct on this?
So, chat, I want to say that, first of all, you might have just set a new world record for fastest incentive met because Trans Pride just got met already. So we will be seeing that if we unlock the bonus game. And that is, at least in part, thanks to this $2,000 donation from Henbully, who says, thanks for playing a cool game for a good cause. Thank you so much for your incredible generosity towards the National Women's Law Center. And not only did that get Trans Pride met, but that also means we are only about 1,500 away from getting Super Metroid added to the schedule. So chat, if you want to see that Trans Pride sprite in action, you gotta still donate to make sure that we can see the game at all. Right now, you can also still donate towards our Save versus Kill bid war. That will be open until late in that game. So there's plenty of time to donate towards that, but not plenty of time to get Super Metroid met. So if y'all want Kill to come back in the lead, it's still only about $500 under. You can absolutely do this. Let's donate, chat, # donate, and go ahead and make sure we get Super Metroid added to the schedule.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for that massive donation. Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely huge. We have so many other fantastic donations as well. So whenever y'all want to give it on over to me, we have so much love for your community and for UFO 50 as a whole.
So I guess the only thing,
we do have a race.
Yep.
Indeed.
Liz,
so whoever gets,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, whoever gets to floor 120 first here wins. They're going to have to defeat Charkus, the big boss, at the end. But yeah, this is just a head-to-head in a procedurally generated game where both players are gaming. So I think this is actually probably a pretty good time for donations. Let's get Super Metroid met, y'all.
Let's do it.
Beautiful. We've got $50 from a Royal Blue Wizard who says, go Liz and Karma! UFO 50 is a wonderful game that I've been a fan of ever since I saw it at PAX years and years ago. Love to support a great cause and wonderful runners. Love you, Liz! Aww. And we've got $20 from Scout Pilgrim who says, Karma and Liz were the two who got me interested in UFO 50 bingo racing. And I'm so excited to see them face off on the Fatale stage. Thanks for the inspiration and best of luck.
Thank you, Scout.
Yeah, these donations from the community are great.
SMO. Sorry, I'm just rocketing through these.
No, go for it. Hi, Smo.
I've been looking forward to this bingo showcase for months. Sad I couldn't be there on the couch, but I know ScouSin and CO are doing a great job casting for this great match between Karma and Liz. Shoutouts to the greatest video game community. P.S. Party House is the best UFO 50 game, obviously.
True.
So I do want to specifically give Smo a shout out because she was originally supposed to be on this couch instead of me, but she had other obligations because she's very talented. She's being honored elsewhere. So she asked me to hop in, and I'm like, yes, please, yes, absolutely. I'll get ready immediately. So shout out to Smo, who's not just amazing, she's truly stupendous and amazing artist. We have so many great artists in the UFO 50 community. Fan art as far as the eye can see.
Yep. Thank you very much, Smo, because we definitely wouldn't have been able to submit this without your help, and hope your thing's going well. All right. Actually, we got Warp Tank here. Can I explain this real quick? So this is a brand new game for us on the stream. Warp Tank is a really, really cool puzzle game where the gimmick is that you basically can warp wherever your tank is pointing to, which includes slants on the ceiling, slants on the ground, blocks that you'll need to jump onto. One of my personal favorites in the collection. This game is really, really cool.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, there's like 22 sectors, I believe. We're only going to be seeing 9 sectors and talking to a couple of NPCs on the overworld. But just wanted to give a shout out to this game because this is one of my personal favorites in the collection for sure.
Oh, yes. And by the way, this beat any 9 sectors and speak to 3 NPCs. This is another very hard on the bingo card. Now, I know I'm saying that a lot, and that's simply because the players, they know the easier goals, they know the faster goals. They already did them. All that's left on the table is suffering. And Velgros, we did have Liz make it to Charkus, wasn't able to seal a deal. Karma is coming up on that goal. We're crossing our fingers because really, we want to see Velgros today. Matt in chat, he's an amazing Velgros player, loves Velgros. I want Karma to get this for you. So Charkus, this boss is just, you have to platform while she is just firing at you. And by the way, Princess Charkus, shout out to a Fatale in the game. if we get to the top of the stage, we won't have to do platforming this way anymore. There will just be flat ground we can use. We need to make it to the top of the stage because we couldn't upgrade our gun to give us a quick Charcas kill. What we need is stability in our lives, and that's how we can get it. And here we are. Now we just need to just keep a level head and finish the job. Okay.
Speaking of keeping a level head and finishing the job, chat, we still have about $1,500 to go to meet Super Metroid and get it added onto the schedule right after this run. So I know y'all can do it. I see that number flying. I would love to call out 1,000 or 124,000 as soon as possible. But for now, I'm going to call out some retro love. $50 from Vexhoff, who says, my absolute favorite retro games is a tie. Zelda Link to the Past and Chrono Trigger.
Great choices. I love Chrono Trigger. Best soundtrack in any game after UFO 50.
Oh, best soundtrack? Tell us your favorite UFO 50 soundtrack or best retro soundtrack. I would absolutely love to hear those in your donations as we get Super Metroid across the finish line.
Important thing to mention. I know I mentioned Eric Circa before for Mooncat. Eric Circa did the music for UFO 50. We have over 200 tracks in this game, and Eric Circa is endlessly talented. My favorite, Mooncat. I love the Fortress theme in Mooncat. It's just so brooding and just, it says something.
Yeah, and I gotta give it up to Warp Tank personally for my favorite UFO 50 soundtrack. But before we pop back onto donations, we have Party House on the screen, a big fan favorite. Do you want to explain what this game is?
Yes, we have spies that are going to help us to keep wild buddies out of our house because we don't want to make the cat angry, because when the cat's angry, just one more bit and then your neighbors are going to call the police on you. Now you need to keep the police away because then you're going to get popularity and money, which lets you buy superheroes and mermaids in order to throw the ultimate party. And you can't do that while the police are here. You can't do it while you're not getting money and popularity, because when you have enough popularity, you can get climbers. Our goal, get 4 climbers to 9 popularity and win the scenario. Climbers, they're not very popular, but the more you see them, the more you vibe with what they're dropping, because climbers, every time they enter your party, their popularity goes up by 1. One of the best population gatherers in the game. 25 days to achieve that. I think we're going to see it today.
I think so. And I guess as we're making our way through the party, leveling up the climbers and getting through Warp Tank, this is another good spot for donations. Let's get Super Metroid met, y'all. We're so close.
Woohoo! Yeah, I completely agree. We've got $15 from The Cloud, who says, go, go, Gadget Girls. Also, let's save those Metroid critters from becoming fritters. So as a reminder that if we do add Super Metroid to the marathon, we do have the Save or Kill the Animals bid war. Right now, Save is in the lead, but again, only by about $500. Kill's been keeping pace now. So, if you would like to save those frames, make sure that Glove goes as fast as possible in our first Super Metroid run, by the way, since Flame 2023. It would be a huge return if we got it on the schedule. Then make sure to !donate or use the donate to charity right underneath your screen to donate towards the National Women's Law Center. We have so much love for UFO 50 as well. We've got $25 from Hollywood Madge, who says, this commentary has been amazing. Loving this bingo match. Hi, ScouSin.
Hi!
And we've got $100 from Duffles, who says, so dang excited for UFO 50 bingo. My favorite game, Night Manor, on the board, and raising money for NWLC. P.S. Save the animals. Less than 3.
We have to save the animals.
$50.
Who's ever heard of an Edakun fritter?
True. That would be interesting to see, but we wouldn't see it if we got killed because we'd just go straight past it and save all those frames, which is pretty cool as well. But we've also got $50 from Beekoffs, who says, playing through UFO 50 for the first time with my friend Jeremy was one of my most cherished gaming memories. Shout out to my favorite game, Mooncat.
Mooncat's a great one.
Choice. Great choice for a favorite game. I love Mooncat.
So I guess before we get quick going on donations, we're seeing a strategy here, which is pretty fun in Party House. As ScouSin kind of alluded to, a lot of units in Party House have a special little power that you can do here. And we're seeing the Grow Master, which basically resets your entire turn, being able to use to cycle through the climbers that are on board to get this one climber, for instance, up to 4, reset the party, and re-invite her in later. And if that other climber comes back in, she'll be a 5, because basically the way climbers work is they get 1 popularity each time they enter the door. And we need to get 4 of those all the way up to 9 popularity and win the scenario. We do that by getting star guests, which in this specific scenario are going to be the last 2 of the deck, the mermaid and superhero. Well, we only have 1 so far and have 7 days left to try to get 4 of them and pull them in a party to win. So we are looking pretty close here. And meanwhile, Liz is almost up to the 9th sector, and we'll be speaking to some NPCs here soon. So get your donations in for Super Metroid, because I don't know how much longer this bingo match is going to be going for.
Our players are 10 and 10, by the way, for everyone keeping score at home. They are tied. And it looks like they're probably going to be reaching 11 more or less at the same time, because this party house, we got 6 days left. You only got 25 days to run Ultimate Party. After that, I'm out. I'm out after 25 days, because summer only lasts 1 month. Must be in the Midwest.
Also, as a reminder for chat, it's 13 to win, correct?
Yes.
It is 13 to win, yes, because that is majority.
Yeah, now that the bingos have all been blocked.
Close.
Yep.
$13, by the way. If you did want to donate $13, that gets you in to win our UFO 50 prize for the day as well, the Campanella wooden coaster. Hand-painted, absolutely gorgeous. So if you'd like to maybe throw in a 13, put it towards your favorite bid war option, and get Super Metroid met, we are so close to $124,000 out of the $125,000 that we need for the National Women's Law Center. And we are being helped along by donations like $20 from Morakonda, who says, Woogie.
Mora!
Hi,
Mora's
Mora.
amazing! Love you, Mora. Mora just joined our community over the last year and proceeded to become an absolute demon at bingo. She is so talented. Thank you, Mora.
Mora was actually my spicy bingo partner last season. Shout outs to Mora.
Ooh. And that is a complete party with 4 climbers at 9 popularity, putting Karma in the lead. So Karma, that's what we were talking about. Karma's been trailing for most of the match, but we're 11 and 10, and we're going back to Campanella 2, one of my favorites, starring my favorite UFO 50 character, Isabel, randomly generated, incredibly difficult. It's everything I love. So, Campanella 2, what are we actually doing here? We need to collect 10 halves of stars, and when you collect a star, you only get half of a star. Trust me, it makes sense. And we can go in these different caves with these on-foot sections to get ourselves upgrades. Since we need to purchase 5 different things from 5 different green door shops. So in the first area here, Burrows 1, we don't have a shop, because the game's smart enough to know you don't have enough money in the first Burrows. But starting in second Burrows, every area has 1 green door shop, and we need to buy something from all 5 of those. Now, they can be the same thing, actually. It doesn't have to be a different thing every time, but you need to buy something from 5 different shops. So we're going to have to see 3 different worlds in Campanella 2, which is exciting, because this game gets way harder than it already is later on. Shout out to
124K.
Curry, by the way. One of the good beans who loves Campanella 2.
And yeah, you're speaking my language, because we have just hit $124,000 for the National Women's Law Center. We are about $600 away from adding Super Metroid to the schedule. So chat, can we do that way before this race ends?
Totally
come on, I know we can do this. Let us pop off ASAP and send in that love for UFO 50. It's been so much fun seeing all these donations come in. We've also got a lot of people shouting at the bid war. $5 from Cass, who says, here's for the true ending of Super Metroid. Save the animals.
Thank you very much.
We're in Mini and Max on Lizstar's side. Mini and Max, one of the best games in the collection. CO, what are we in for here?
So, Mini and Max, I've kind of considered it in my head to be a mix of Chippendale Rescue Rangers and Breath of the Wild, which I'm not sure how many people necessarily agree with me here, but basically the gimmick of this game, as you can see, is we're mini, and we can either grow or shrink in size, and we're locked in a closet currently and trying to get our way out. So there's a bunch of different quests that we can do to help out people, including killing this guy, or killing all these silverfish in here and getting a reward. I don't want to spoil too much about this game because a lot of it is kind of figuring out where you're going and stuff. But it's a very cool 2D platformer, kind of like an open world adventure game mix. Very, very cool mix. Definitely one of my favorites of the collection, and we're going to see a pretty extended play in here because we have to collect 150 shinies without obtaining an extra power-up. If you haven't played Mini and Max, I won't spoil what the Shrink Potion does, but basically we're going to be doing pretty fun stuff here and kind of just looking around the board for shinies.
And by the way, Mini and Max is objectively one of the best games in the collection. UFO 50 came out in 2024, and I decided that Mini and Max should have been the game of the year for 2024. UFO 50 is great, but Mini and Max is just so good, and there's so much game there. Like you think, okay, you're playing as a little girl, with everything's, you can shrink, everything's large. I'm in a piggy bank, I'm in books. No, it's a game with depth, and let me tell you, this is one of those games. This is good enough reason to purchase UFO 50 just for Mini and Max.
I agree.
So I have an idea, by the way. If you're also a Mini and Max lover, we just reopened a really cool bid war. This is the Fatale's favorite femmes in gaming bid war. And the winner of this bid war is going to get drawn by LLK, who is our GDQ artist, and put into the Yeti art bundle, which you can pick up for just $5 right now at theyeti.com. To go ahead and take home at the end of this. So right now, Madeline from Celeste is winning, but only $10 over Samus Aran, of course, our protagonist of Super Metroid. So if you're a Metroid lover and want to not only get Super Metroid Met, but also make sure that Samus wins that, or if you'd like to put Mini in as an option, it is a write-in bid war, so you can put in any of your favorite femmes in gaming that you want. Go ahead and click !donate in chat, use the donate to charity button underneath your screen, and donate towards the Fatale's favorite femmes in gaming. Madeline is winning at $435, by the way, so this is super, super accessible. We could absolutely get a new winner in if Mini fans want to come on in, or if y'all want to make sure that Samus overtakes Madeline.
As long as we get Super Metroid, Matt.
As long as we get Super
All
Metroid,
of those
Matt,
donations
absolutely.
go towards Super Metroid. We're under $500 to go. Chat, let's
come on,
do this.
chat.
Let's pop off ASAP. Race the runners to the finish.
So we are in a new... Yeah,
Go ahead.
they're going very well. We're in a new world at Camp Enola 2. Do you want to explain what's new about as we get farther into Camp 2 here?
Ice physics. The rank is an ice level, and it is not just an ice level, it is the ice level's ice level. And I have beef with it. So in Camp Enola 2, when you beat the bros, you can choose to go to More Woods or the rank. And when you defeat those, there's 3 possible third areas you can go to, and we will be seeing one of those third areas today if we can complete this Camp Enola 2 goal. The rank it's the faster of the two, but it's also the harder of the two. I'm not a fan of the rank. I have played too many ice levels in my days, but look at this! Karma's getting through just fine. And yes, by the way, she has a compass. That compass is of strategic importance because it shows you where the door is to leave the area, and it also shows you where the shop is. It is extremely vital, not just for doing well in Camp Enola 2 for this goal. So Karma's really feeling good for Camp Enola 2, but you gotta be careful because health is easy come, easy go in this game, and it's very easy to die.
Yeah, we saw that a little bit earlier when Karma unfortunately just jumped off the edge and instantly died. If you get hit by anything when you're in this overworld section, you're dead no matter what. If you get hit during these side-scrolling sections, you can typically take like a hit or two most of the time. But anything outside of this UFO on the main overworld part is instant death. So Camp 2 is a really cool but really, really, really scary game to play. So honestly, seeing it in a marathon like this at all is pretty wild, but especially with this hard of a bingo goal to go after.
And I want to also point out, our players chose these games that would be represented, which means one of our players is so good at Camp Enola 2, they're ready to rise up to the challenge. And we're seeing so much success on Karma's side. No, Onion Delivery! Onion Delivery, the game that you love to hate and you hate to love. CO, Are we delivering onions today? What does this entail? I'm scared.
Yeah, so if you've ever played Crazy Taxi and one of the old Grand Theft Auto games that are top-down, this is basically just a hybrid of that. We are Woogie, the hard-working alien that is just trying to survive the days. And to do so, he needs to drop off at least 5 onions each day. This world is a very cool world that sort of loops on itself. So if you just keep driving in one direction, you'll never hit like an endpoint or anything because it'll just kind of loop you back. This city is intricate. It stays the same each time, thankfully, which isn't necessarily the case with UFO 50 games. One of the things you'll pretty commonly hear about this game, especially from players starting off, the controls take a little bit of getting used to. These are relative controls, so when you're turning left and right, it's actually turning your car left and right, and that can be kind of a lot to get used to, but once you are used to it, this game is definitely really, really cool. And we're going to be seeing 4 full days of deliveries here, and not only that, we're going to be seeing some overtime stuff. Do you want to talk about overtime and onion delivery? Because I think it's pretty cool.
It is very cool. It's also where you are guaranteed to lose your gold attempts is overtime. Now, in order to get the gold disc on onion delivery, you just need to deliver 5 onions every day for 7 days, a week of onions. However, there's this concept called overtime. Aside from it ultimately being how you get the cherry, for our goals today, we need to complete 7 deliveries, then make it home. And this is important because you get a boost of time from getting 5 deliveries, but you don't get any additional time for any deliveries after that. There are boxes in the sky known as time boxes, because they're boxes and they have time. And if you collect them, you get 12 seconds back on the timer, and you need them. Because the game's out to get you. We have UFOs attacking us. Poor Woogie, a driver in Zorg City. He's having the worst week of his life. We're
Oh boy,
UFO.
Karma. We are out of fuel in Campanella. We haven't even talked about that. So, Campanella 2 has a fuel system, and it's pretty tight. You got to get these stars before running out of fuel. And Karma is currently Oh no, we got the explosion. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Campanella 2. That's the most Campanella 2 thing that can happen.
Yep. So Campanella 2 is a dangerous, dangerous game. I think. Okay. So interesting goal clarification here that I'm not sure of. If Karma goes more woods now, that's a different green shop, right? Because it doesn't say in one run.
That's actually correct. Yes. So,
okay.
In UFO 50 Bingo, we have something called the instance rule, which basically means you can do a goal across multiple attempts or multiple runs as long as it's a different instance of something. So, if Karma got the shop item for Burrows 2, she cannot claim that again for progress in the goal. She needs 5 unique shops, which means she probably got Burrows 2, Rank 1, and Rank 2. She can go to more woods and get 2 shops there now. You don't have to do it all in one run unless the goal says in one run, and we're hoping that Karma recognizes that and takes advantage of that, because that makes this goal a lot more doable, because I'm not doing this in one run. I can't.
Yeah,
Campanella 2 is too hard.
Also, y'all, we are so close to Super Metroid. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, we are. As we are watching these two speed towards the end, this is still so competitive. We are also trying to get Super Metroid met. We are under $250 away. Chat, we are so close. Can we please get that before these runners finish UFO 50 so we can have a big old pop-off at the end when they can hear us. We also have a very thematic donation, $23 from Toots, who says, Woogie!
Toots is one of our resident onion delivery experts. And let me tell you, onion delivery, it's one of the hardest games the first time you boot it up, because you don't know the city, you don't know what you're doing, the controls are weird. But Toots and all of our onion delivery experts, they are built different. It's incredible. Like 7 deliveries? Let's talk about 14 deliveries. That's how good they are.
Chat, we are so close to Super Metroid.
We're so close. We're so close.
We are so close. We've got $6 from M3Zik, who says, my favorite retro game is Mario Picross, and if you've seen me in the UFO 50 community, you probably know why.
I have 100%ed Mario Picross growing up, the original Game Boy version. I adore it. I love it. I love Picross. And yes, we do have a UFO 50 fan game, UFO 50 nanograms, that's on the way, made by certain someone I'm looking forward to. We all are. So yes, we also have fan games of UFO 50 being made. It's wild. I love this community. So on Lizstar's side, the sewer system is on the fritz, and so fire hydrants are firing sewage, and we have the rivers firing it at us like a projectile, but hopefully across these 4 days, we don't see the worst. We have UFOs, we have sewage, we have the garlic gang, but the worst of all, rain. Yes, actually rain. The rainstorm's the most dangerous hazard in onion delivery, and we really don't want to see it today. It'll make you slide. It's no fun. It's terrible.
Oh no, Karma was afraid she didn't have enough money for something, I think, and went into a shop in Burroughs too. I hope she doesn't think this has to be in one run, because it does not say it has to be in one run.
That's true,
but
that's true.
It does look like we are coming up pretty close on the end of Onion Delivery and Camp 2. Yo, we are, $200 away from Super Metroid?
About
Please make that happen.
Yeah, chat, come on, let's get that met before the runners are done. We want to make sure we can all pop off together. We've got $50 from Raptor, who says, Liz! Good luck, Liz and Karma. You're both amazing at this game, and it's always fun watching you two UFO bingo.
Awesome. And by the way, Liz is at 12 goals, which means if/when she gets this goal, she will have effectively won the match. Karma needs to get both of the remaining goals in order to win. And yes, we do call it a blackout if every single goal is claimed. And I really hope that Karma gets this before Liz does, because I want to see a blackout today. That would be so hype.
I would love a blackout. That would be great.
And you know what I love? We have now reached $125,000 and 36.
Heck yeah. Let's go.
$37 raised for the National Women's Law Center, which means we have unlocked the bonus game of Super Metroid coming up after this. So thank you so much, chat. You did.
Thank you, chat. Great job. Shout outs to women.
I'm so excited. Shout outs to women. So true, so true. Big shout outs.
So true.
And I also want to quickly shout out our bid war for that run. Now we know we're going to see Save is still winning $2,213 on that option, but Kill has been keeping pace really steadily, $1,745. So Kill, with a little bit of extra help, absolutely could still overtake Save. So if you're still looking to donate for the National Women's Law Center, which I know you are, especially to win that Super Metroid prize at $50 donated minimum, it is an illuminated manuscript. It is gorgeous and super fancy. You might want to put it towards Kill or towards Save to make sure Kill doesn't make a comeback. Thank you so much, chat. I'm so excited to see this run.
Yes, thank you very much, chat. That is super hype.
So Liz is also up against something that is much scarier than the sewage and even scarier than the time. Limited lives. So Liz does only have 3 lives total in Onion Delivery to achieve her goal before she has to restart the run from scratch, because that's just a game over at that point. So we're really crossing our fingers that Liz is able to get past the sewage. By the way, this that Liz is dealing with right now is the second worst challenge in the game, the second worst hazard. So Liz does have a very hard problem to deal with, I guess you could call the sewage.
Yeah. I think it's a city issue, but yeah.
It's a city issue.
One of the fun things about Onion Delivery that ScouSin was kind of alluding to is each day we'll randomly get one of a couple of different disasters, I guess. And depending on the Onion Delivery run, you can sometimes get the really, really hard stuff out of the way early, which is where the game's a little bit nicer and puts locations like closer together for you. Or you can get it later into the run where you're like flying across the map in between every single thing. Shout out to Jurley's, the fan favorite destination that I already see shout outs in chat also.
I could go for some Jurley's right about now. we also have a meme for this place, which is the Church of Bartok. And what makes it so unique is that it is close to the beginning area and it elbows out like that. So a lot of people, when they're trying to go home or just pass through, they'll take that straightaway and they'll slam right into the side of the building because they expect the road to keep going. But just arbitrarily right there, it's just an elbow. And I don't know if the devs themselves even predicted that that one location would cause so much grief to so many Onion delivery players.
So I don't know exactly how much time we actually have in the match because we are scheduled for an hour 30 here. We are getting pretty close to the end of this, but both players are looking a little sketch. Karma's down to 1 HP, Liz is down to 1 life. This is the bite of the spicy goals where even our most experienced players can sometimes get hung up by how hard these goals are. And that was all thanks to y'all meeting the spicy goals because the spicy goal and the very hard for this are the only things that are left here.
Yeah, this was an excellent showcase, not just of UFO 50 bingo, but just how challenging some of these spicy goals are, and in one case, just how hilarious they are. So really, you all made this happen. You all made this the best it could be for this event. Thank you very much. We couldn't have done it without you.
Y'all are awesome. Chad, as always, is the heart and soul of our events, and we thank you so much for being here. Just as a reminder, y'all are what makes it happen. Y'all are what makes the magic happen. Keep making the magic happen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Liz is coming up to 6. She just needs to grab one more location, one more delivery, then go home to complete this day, and I believe this will be the 3rd day for her.
I think so, yeah.
We're gonna hope. We want to see Garlic Gang. We want to see Giant Onion Monster, or is it Garlic Monster? It's Onion Monster, right?
It's Onion Monster.
I should know this by now.
We got Garlic Gang.
We have the notorious
okay,
Garlic Gang, and not only do we have to deal with them, we have to deal with the local police for Zorg City. Now, the Garlic Gang aren't actually chasing us. They're actually duking it out with the police. We're just kind of incidentally in the neighborhood while this is happening. And it's a classic, like, 1920s gangster situation. Like, they're firing out of their cars with the Tommy gun. And we do really want to see this particular because as long as you're going fast, as long as you mind your own business, they're gonna cause problems for you. Like, they're definitely one of the easier hazards that we can contend with. And all Liz has to do is get 7 deliveries and go home, and that will be GG.
I also want to point out, as we are coming up to the end of this, that we have another dogfight for the favorite Femmes in gaming bid war. Madeline is staying on top, but only barely. Right now, she is only $25 ahead of Samus. So chat, if you want to see Samus in the art bundle that is being sold by the Yeti right now for only $5 at the end of this event, you got to make sure that Samus Aran wins that bid war. And as a reminder, LLK will draw the winner of that gaming bid war and sneak it on into that art bundle, which you can go ahead and pick up right now from the Yeti. So make that happen, Samus fans.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right, so we are one delivery away here. We just gotta make it back home.
Yeah.
Time for one more donation then?
Absolutely.
I think so.
All right, we've got $50 from Justin Cat, who says, "We're so glad to see UFO 50 represented in the lineup. This bingo race is such an incredible way to see some of the best games in the collection. Here's $50 to go towards a great cause. Save the animals."
Okay, so avoid the church. No, the church is the church. I told you the church. I told you
I think
this
Liz
could
still
happen.
has enough time, but this church always
Barely
trips
enough
people
time.
up.
That could have cost her the entire thing.
All right, and with
All
that,
right,
Liz has reached
that's gonna be
majority
GG.
and 13
and there's
points.
the storm. There's the storm.
GG.
GG.
All right.
Wow.
So as is bingo tradition, we're going to have the players unmute for a little bit of a wrap up.
Oh, man.
We'll try to keep it short to get that Super Metroid run. But thank you all again for making that happen, because that was incredible. Wonderful
GG,
showcase
Liz.
by both players. GG, Karma.
GG.
GG,
Welcome
Liz.
back.
GG's, y'all.
Gee.
Without
You put on a
dwelling
show.
too long, I realized after the fact in Campanella 2 that it said buy something, not buy an upgrade, and that's what the O was for.
I thought so.
And I could have
Oh.
healed, and that would have been the other square, and we would have blacked out the board.
That was so close to a blackout.
Listen, you killed a hamster, and therefore you won.
Yeah, I figured it. The
Kill the
timing might
animals.
have been weird for me to go in there, but I'm like, if I don't do this now, like, it's got to be for the content.
Your
You did
Night
notice
Manor
for
run
like
was
10
incredible,
minutes,
by the
so
way.
I assumed what you were doing. And I went into Onion Delivery for the content. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, of course.
Shucks.
Fantastic game from both of you. That went far better than we could have even dreamed of.
Yeah, I was having a great time.
Yeah.
It was
GG.
perfect.
Very close. Exciting.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted. At that point, I was like,
Same.
even if Karma smokes me from this point on, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it was close,
Definitely.
and that's what matters.
Bummer that I didn't get to finish out the Camp 2 square, but that's Camp 2, baby.
That's
Yeah,
Camp
It is
two.
Camp 2.
That's why I didn't touch it.
So major thank you to Frost Fatales for letting us show off some UFO 50 bingo. We've mentioned before, but this is a very special community, and we're very honored to have helped raise money for Women's Law Center.
Absolutely.
Do y'all have
Thank
any
you,
specific
everyone.
shout outs? Because I have a list, but I'll just go through whoever we don't pick up here.
If this looks good to you, please join us. It's really fun, and there's a very kind community about it. So shout outs again to the community.
Any skill level. Any skill level.
Any skill level. There are tiers. we designed it that way.
It's true.
We're
if
like
this
middle
looked
of the
cool,
pack. Join us.
Yeah.
if this
Okay.
looked cool, even if you've never played anything before, we have a tier for you, basically, so we can make it happen.
Go
Yes.
ahead, CO. I think you've got the right
I'll
people.
go ahead and go last just to kind of grab everyone else because I have a little written list. ScouSin, Liz.
I have friends watching. Thank you everyone for watching, supporting me, and just like I expose a lot of friends to UFO 50 because it's my new favorite thing. It has been for a while. Just thank you everyone, and thank you to the entire community. I love you all.
What ScouSin said,
right.
not to just cheap out.
Yes. Thank you.
Word for word,
Yeah.
what ScouSin said.
So really quick shout outs. Smo, thank you for doing the promo art for this as well as being original casting team. Frank, thank you for UFO 50 bingo because this really wouldn't be the cool community as it is without your help. Matt, thank you for helping run the bingo league, which we've talked about a bunch, but if you're interested, please join. Bingo casters, bingo players, everyone that helps make this community special, thank you. The devs as well, thank you for the donation earlier. Shout outs to the Frame Fatales team also. Specific shout outs to Court and BD because they helped push me to actually help submit this. And y'all are the best. And if you don't know Court and BD, you definitely should because they're really nice. And one last shout out, I guess, for my wife because she was watching during this run and was very hyped in the background. So
Shout outs to my cat. She was mad at me earlier, and I want her to feel better.